call me Alice because I am about to dive headfirst into a rabbit hole. Welcome back, everybody, to the channel. This is REN, the money game trilogy. This has been a huge suggestion in the comments. I'm really happy that the response to the reactions have been really good because I have enjoyed reacting to REN's stuff. I mean, I'm only scratching the surface, right? Because I've only done High REN. I've done the Tale of Jenny and Screech, which, by the way, holy, that was amazing, right? The Jenny, Screech, and then the plot twist in Violet's Tale. Amazing. This guy is, as some of you put it, a bard, and his genre of music is bardcore. I love that so much. He is totally a bard. He tells stories through music. It's amazing. But anyway, this is the Money Game trilogy. We're starting off, and judging by the thumbnails of like Money Game 1 and Money Game 3, they look pretty similar. So I'm guessing it's like an overarching story that takes place over 3 videos. I mean, the first one was released 4 years ago. Money Game 3 was released 2 months ago. So let's get into it. There's no video for Money Game 2. There's a lyric video, which that's exciting. But let's get into it. Drop a like if you enjoyed this reaction. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. And I do have a Patreon if you'd like to support the channel. Links down below. Thank you very much. Anyway, this is Money Game, the trilogy. Let's go. We open on a rope. Ooh.
It's a strange time we're living in. War can put fear in. Hierarchy parties, they make us feel inferior. Greed runs through parliament interiors. Devils walk among us, they fit the criteria. Eerie, theory, stripe, fearing, weary-minded men when we're clearly living in dictatorships. Nearly blinded by illusions to choose, but who's fooling who? A ball chained to your shoes on pain. It's a crying shame.
This is unsettling.
The pursuit of our own wealth lights a flame that makes greed a game that lets this whole war burn. As the world turns, the whole world burns. But money was invented for trade, but now those bits of paper twist hearts, make slaves, turns a saint into a sinner, a child into a killer. His finger on the trigger of a money game.
Nice.
Oh, rain, 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 rain. A storm, it comes our way. And those who rise through distorted lies, poison in the veins, but we like to point the blame, 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 blame. It's easier to blame, but point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this old money game. Stop.
What's he about to do? This is giving me like Childish Gambino, This Is America vibes. Which I guess touches upon the same topic. Oh no. Oh no.
Dear Mr. President, it's evident that everyone's a resident of fear when they support these ideas to keep us separate. When they make us believe that everybody is coming to terrorize you in the streets. They say badly through gritted teeth. That's my right to hate. That's freedom of speech.
Damn.
But when did freedom become a reason to hate? A way to justify a racist slur or insult we make? There's an irony in freedom, cause us in the West, we have pillaged and plundered the murder like savages, colonized all of the rest. That's called hypocrisy. Preach a certain value that you never keep yourselves. Your country was in flames, you denigrate yourselves in a second. Still you spit your venom, demonizing immigrants when really you're the immigrant. Cause all of us are immigrants or descended from immigrants.
True.
Irony is imminent. I'll shed the light on immigrants. America was colonized by Britain. Britain, it was colonized by Rome, and also colonized by the Saxons. They were German, by the way. You know how people throw shade upon the Germans because of history's pain, and yet we made the same mistakes all again. Demonize a whole people, Jewish or Muslim, the same and the same. Old situations play on repeat. The same old TV shows repeat. Yeah, we worship the bleak. Our opinions are our own, and we follow like sheep. There's no left, there's no right. In the middle we sleep. Rain, 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 rain. The storm, it comes our way. And those who rise through distorted lies, poison in the veins, but we'd like to point the blame, 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 blame. It's easier to blame, but point the mirror at ourselves.
Gloves are off.
We're all part of this old money game.
Oh shit. Oh no. What are you about to do? The fact that he's singing while doing this, that's scarier than anything. Holy shit, dude. This is a game in itself. What he's doing to this poor gentleman. Oh, he drew eyes on him. Which is what the thumbnail is. Okay. Makes sense. Oh no, he's not done. No, Ren! This is unsettling. Okay. What is happening? Your boy's ripped though. Is he gonna set himself on fire? Oh no. I don't want to watch that. Oh fuck, thank God. Whoo! That was... The song was amazing. Deep, as always. But the video was a little unsettling. Like, I don't want to jump into lyrics just yet. I want to get into the next video and then part 3 and then do the lyrics like I did for Jenny and Screech. But just a couple of things that kind of caught me from the video itself. Like, I feel like he's talking about corruption and greed and political, you know, capitalism and how that's like, as he said, you know, you rise through distorted lies, and it's sort of, you kind of, it is a game that the elite play, the, you know, various political parties play with, they play with the lives of the people at the lower level, you know? That's kind of how it goes. It's obscene, it's wrong, but that's what happens today. And a lot of people oppose that and they protest that. And strangely, they protested by setting themselves on fire. It's a horrible way to die, number one. But also, why would you set yourself on fire for protesting something else? That's just me. Whatever, it's fine. But I feel like the guy with the guitar with the bag on his face, it removes his face, right? It dehumanizes him, right? So it's easier for people in a position of power, like Ren was, because he's playing the role of the torturer. That guy's tied up. He's playing the role of the puppet. Play your guitar while I sing my song, right? And then I'll tell you to stop and I'll tell you to go. But you're tied up and you do what I want, right? And he's got a bag over his face because that takes away the human side of it. So the people in the position of power feel better about all the bullshit that they do when they don't have a face. But then Ren takes it a step further and goes and draws eyes on the guy, which gives him a sense of, like, gives him a face. It humanizes him, which means these people know what they're doing. They want to look into their eyes while they do this. Right? He drew eyes on the bag to symbolize, like, no, I want you to see what I'm doing. I want you to know what I'm doing. I want you to open your eyes to what is happening and what I'm about to do to you. But then he tops that by almost setting the guy on fire and then going and setting himself on fire. We're assuming, right? He doused himself and then he lit the lighter. So, yeah, it's a great analogy for, like, the elite playing this money game with people's lives. Whoa, what a video. Holy shit. All right, let's move on to Money Game Part 2. Okay. Similar.
Strange time we're living in panic and hysteria. Poor man learn, the rich man don't care for your
Okay, this is a little more produced.
Spread like malaria. Sit back and watch the show. America, Britain split through fickle shit. A government of hypocrites. These counterfeit politicians sit in parliament, not adequate. Come on, needlessly bleeding resources all dry. Turn a blind eye if it means a pay rise. Oh, what a shame it would be, I would die if number 10 Downing Street burned in a fire. Only joking, only messing, don't be stressing.
That's quite a statement to make.
There's no need to be unpleasant. Write my thesis in a rhyme scheme to analyze the brain while my fingers on the trigger of a money game. Oh, rain, 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 rain. A storm, it comes our way. And no surprise to distorted lies. Poison
same chorus, okay.
But we died upon the blame, 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 blame. It's easier to blame. But point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this whole money game.
Damn. I like the addition of the beat and the acoustic going to electric guitar. I love that.
This old money game. This old. Money is a game and the ladder we climb turns a saint into a sinner with his finger in crime. I'll break it down for you motherfuckers line by line. This is business economics in a nursery rhyme. She sells seashells on a seashore, but the value of these shells will fall due to the laws of supply and demand. No one wants to buy shells because there's loads on the sand. Step one, must create a sense of scarcity. Shells will sell much better if the people think they're rare, you see. Bear with me, take as many shells as you can find and hide them on an island. Stockpile them high until they're rarer than a diamond. Step two, make the people think that they want them.
This
really
is...
want them, really fucking want them. Hit them like Bronson. Influencers, product placement, featured primetime entertainment. If you haven't got a shell, then you're just a fucking waste, man.
This...
Free,
okay.
it's monopoly.
Alright,
Invest in sites and property. Start a corporation, make a logo, do it properly. Shells must sell, that will be your new philosophy. Swallow all your morals, they're a poor man's quality. 4. Expand, expand, expand. Clear forest, make land, fresh blood on hands. 5. Why just shells? Why limit yourself? She sells seashells, sell oil as well. 6. Guns, sell stock, sell diamonds, sell rock, sell water to a fish, sell the time to a clock. 7. Press on the gas, take your foot off the brakes, then run to be the president of the United States. 8. Big smile, make big wave, that's great. Now the truth is overrated, tell lies out the gate. 9. Polarize the people, controversy is the game. It don't matter if they hate you, if they all say your name. 10. The world is yours. Step out on the stage to a round of applause. You're a liar, cheat, a devil, a whore, and you sell seashells on the seashore.
Holy shit.
Rain, rain. A storm, it comes our way. And no surprise.
That was a straight up economics lesson right there.
But we died upon the blame, 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 blame. It's easier to blame. But point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this whole money game.
Oh shit, we're done.
This old money game.
Dude.
This old.
God damn. That was a straight up economics lesson right there. The Money Game Part 1 was like telling you, hey, open your eyes. This is the shit that's going on. The hypocrisy, the greed, the capitalism, all that is happening right before your eyes. And then this is like flipping it on its head in a way, because this is like a what do you call it? It's like a map. It's like a guideline on how to do such a thing, right? This is literally, he laid out the rules on supply and demand. It's an economics lesson right there. I don't know if anyone watching this video, if you've seen the show Fall of the House of Usher, there's a fucking terrific monologue that Roderick Usher, the main character, gives about lemons. If life hands you lemons, the saying is make lemonade, right? But then no, he's like, no, you create a monopoly around lemons. It's an amazing dialogue, a monologue, I should say. go watch that clip if you haven't seen the show itself. Just go watch that clip, but also watch the show because it's a fucking terrific show. But he's like, create a monopoly around lemons. Like, take all the lemons, stockpile them, make them scarce, make them rare so that people want lemons, then sell the idea that lemons are all you need. If you want to, be the top dog in your company, a top dog in your social circle, you need a lemon to do it. So then people start buying lemons. Then you raise the price on lemons and sell them that. And when you have finally amassed your empire, then you make lemonade. It's an amazing fucking monologue. This is like that level. It's like, yeah, you sell seashells on the seashore. Like, it's such an amazing idea because shells are available all over the seashore. Just go walk to a beach. You will see seashells. So how do you create a monopoly around that? How do you sell time to a clock? How do you sell, how do you sell seashells on the seashore when it's readily available? Why would I buy it from you if I can just go pick one up? Well, he showed you how. Oh, that's amazing. God damn it. All right, Money Game Part 3. Let's go. Ooh, this looks a little more cinematic. This guy can play the piano too. Holy shit. Oh, he can play the piano. And he's playing it with a bag over his head. Come on, Ren. Whoa. Love that. Oh. Love that transition. Holy shit. I mean, it's made to look like one shot, but there's like hidden transition in there. Ooh. So good. Oh. Oh shit, the guy he was controlling in the first video is now made him oh, the fucking storytelling there, dude. Yeah. I mean, it's meant to symbolize, like, you have this bag over your head, you have the veil, like, pull off the veil, see what's happening, right? You have to pull off the veil in order to see what's happening. But also the veil is kind of tied around your neck, so it's symbolism of that. The veil is put there. It's up to you to take it off. Ooh.
Let me tell you a story about a boy named Jimmy. 1 year old and
Jimmy.
His first words were mine, gimme. 2 years old he was walking, 3 years old walking quickly, 4 years old he was running round the pavements of his city, 5 years old and his
Let's
daddy
wait till he gets to 14.
Listen here son, you gotta learn to be a man. A man, he works for what he wants. 6 years old and he's reading, writing, top of the bunch. And when he's 7, his progression made him student number 1. 8 years old and he's praised for unusual grades. 9, his parents paid for private school to nurture the flame. 10, 11, 12, 13, he ascends and ascends. His daddy tells him, son, money is the means to all ends. 14, solving complex mathematical equations. At 15, IQ 150, still elevating. 16, he develops complex software code that detects weaknesses in cybersecurity protocols. 17, and he sells his vision,
Jimmy.
keeping the share. Not yet an adult, but he's practically a millionaire. 18, and his daddy tells him, now you're a man. This world don't give a damn about you, so take all that you can. 19, he turns a profit, stocks and shares, invest in product. 20, double down deposits. 21, his income rockets. 22, he learns the truth is just an obstacle to wealth. If you manipulate the data, then the lie will sell itself. 23, a life of luxury, crystal
That's
and
a
cocaine.
fucking fire line.
24, he makes the Forbes list, they're applauding his name. 25, and his daddy tells him, listen here, son, while you're sitting in that palace, that don't mean that you won. 26, a business shift, he switches business to arms. He's 27, dealing nuclear and shells in Iran. 28, inside the Senate, money bought him a seat. He's 29, a role of counsel in the president's suite. Now he's 30, his daddy says you're losing the race. You're just a servant to the king, not even in second place. 31,
Jeez.
a big maneuver for his daddy's approval. Moving imports over borders from the exports out of Cuba. 32, moving grams, growing kilos to tons. He's 33, filling warehouses
took a
with
fucking
powder
ton.
and guns. 34, turf war with nobody to stop it.
that.
Blind eye from the po-po inside of his pocket.
He went from writing software to being a drug kingpin? Holy shit.
35, he gets a call. I'm sorry, son, but it's your father. Had a heart attack. I'm sorry,
Oh, no.
he's gone. 36, getting pissed up, abusing his product. 37, eyes glazed, disposition demonic. 38, with a prostitute, a moment of passion. Heating up a silver spoon and then chasing the dragon. 39, getting reckless and hungry for power. Daddy's words are still driving him to kill and devour. Makes a move against the cartel, but the strategy's flawed. They retaliate and leave him in a hospital ward. A bullet buried in his vertebra and one in his leg. The doctor sighs and says, I don't think you'll be walking again. Fuck.
Oh. Jesus, Jimmy? Where did it all go wrong? Well, I mean, we know where it went wrong. But, holy shit. And here's the wheelchair. Which is symbolic for other reasons. Oh. Now he's flanked by a symphony. Orchestra.
Let me tell you a story about a boy named Jimmy. He was 40 and he cursed the words, mine, mine, gimme. 41, he wasn't walking. 42, not walking quickly. 43, never running round the pavements of his city. 44, inside a palace with a mountain of gold. But those riches turn to rubble when perspective evolves. Weighing heavy on his conscience is the value of gold. Lamborghini for a life, trading money for souls. Jimmy followed the code inside the land of the free. Put your hand inside the cookie jar, take more than you need. And his example is exaggerated versions of me. And it's a version of him. And it's a version of she. And it's a version of you. There's no escaping the blame. The way we live is parasitic. Fuck the money and fame. Cut the music.
That's a callback.
This isn't entertainment. This is real life. The
No
way
shit.
we live is lunacy. Community, it declines. Hyperpolarized, always fighting, then we divide. Truth is less important than the money that we designed. Money's an invention. Politics from our invention. They all come from people's ideas. Did I mention? Border's an invention. Law and order fuel the tension. It leads to people killing each other. My solution?
What is he doing now? There's gun and there's bullets. I mean, that looks like a real gun.
Everything is subject to change. We could build utopias if individuals were taught to use their brains. But if we teach kids in schools to always be sheep and put themselves before the herd if there's more money for me,
Jesus.
then there's no future I see where the humans survive with parasites inside a petri dish with cannibal minds. Mold will grow upon the surface then consumes till it dies. And our fate could be the same without this story to the wise.
Oh, yeah. Tell him, Ren.
45. Jimmy comes home out of the rain, soaking wet upon a wheelchair, drinking again. He is everything he wants, he is fortune and fame. He's a fortunate fool with an unfortunate fate. With a 45 caliber aimed at his brain. 45 a fitting number cause his age is the same. Here's the words of his father. It's such a damn shame.
Oh, fuck off.
Then he presses on the trigger of a money game.
Ooh. Ooh. Dude. I mean, he said it himself. This, like, the first Money Game 1 was a warning, right? It was a story to the wise, like he said, of what's happening in the world. So open your eyes and see, right? Part 2 is basically a step-by-step process on how to achieve such, means to your end. And then part 3 is basically an example of what happens when someone follows that, and to an extreme, because he said it's an exaggerated example of what's happening. It's an exaggerated example of me, of you, of she, of he, whatever, right? And what happens when you take that, like, so seriously, so literally. I mean, for Jimmy, number one, the tragedy of his tale is he was always chasing his father's approval, right? So his father said, you do this, and you can become great. And then the second he became an adult, the words of affirmation became like basically manipulation, right? It's not enough. It's not enough. You can do more. It's not enough. You're a servant. You're pathetic. You're a loser. Do more. Become someone better. And that, for some reason, Jimmy decided, hey, I'm going to go into the drug business. Become a drug kingpin. I mean, he became successful. He followed the game. He played the game, and he kind of won the game. But then the second the object of his approval left the scene, his dad died, his whole life devolved. He made shit decisions, chasing the dragon, right? Attacked the cartel, got paralyzed for it, and he lived in misery until the age of 45, where, I mean, this is so perfectly what not to do, right? He is laying out in perfect storytelling fashion, hey, stop doing this. He said it perfectly. We are a parasite living on a petri dish. That is literally it. We are a parasite living on a petri dish. Humans, think of it what you want. We're the top of the food chain, but we also are responsible for most of the problems that take place in the world. Most. Okay? So, yeah, it all revolves around money. Oh my god, what an amazing fucking story. Ren, how am I just discovering you? Holy shit. It's cinema. Like, the first video was just him, the sound of a guitar being played by his puppet in this dilapidated room. I don't know if that's the right word to use. It was decrepit, I think is the word I wanted to use. Dilapidated means overturned, right? Something like that. Anyway, but yeah, he was just in this basement area, very Saw. And then the second video was a lyric video, so nothing much there. But third video, very cinematic. He's in his own kind of chamber with more puppets with veils over their eyes, bags over their heads. And he's just conducting his orchestra, basically, telling his story. It's amazing. It's amazing. The storytelling, the story development. Like, oh, so good. But let's do what we do on this channel and dive into some lyrics. All right, starting off with Money Game 1. So, it's a strange time we're living in. World can put fear in you. Hierarchy parties, they make us feel inferior. Greed runs through the parliament interior. Political corruption. Devils walk among us, they fit the criteria. Eerie theories strike fear in weary-minded men. This guy and his tongue-twisting lyrics. Eerie theories strike fear in weary-minded men. Seashells, I can't even do it. When we're clearly living in dictatorships, nearly blinded by illusions to choose, but who's fooling who? That's true. That's true. Any way you look at it, it kind of is. Like, anyway. A ball chained to your shoes, I'm pained. It's crying shame. The pursuit of our own wealth lights a flame that makes greed a game that lets the whole world burn. As the world turns, the whole world burns. Kind of repeating himself because he's driving the point home there. But money was invented for trade. But now those bits of paper twist hearts make slaves. Yes, true, very true. Like, once we got done with the barter system and money became, like currency became a thing, that currency became the only thing that anyone ever cared about. People were willing to lie, cheat, kill, all of it for that piece of paper. And that's all it is, a piece of paper, right? Make slaves, turn saints into sinner, child into a killer. Referencing Screech, I think, because he was trying to rob Jenny in that story. I mean, I don't know if it's directly related or directly referencing, but it brings to mind that image, right? He was trying to rob her. He needed money for whatever. And he tried to rob Jenny. And that, we know how that tale ended. Anyway, his finger on the trigger of a money game, right? But there, I mean, Screech had a knife instead of a trigger. But he's also talking very much about America's situation and the gun problem there, which I'm not going to touch that with a shit-covered stick. America has its own problems. Anyway, oh, rain, 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 a storm comes our way, which, of course, referencing this rising tension where we feel like we're going into World War III, right? It's happening. I mean, this song is 4 years ago. 4 years later, present day feels even more relevant. And to those who rise through distorted lies, poison in the veins, we like to point the blame, blame, blame. It's easier to blame, but point the mirror at ourselves are all part of this old money game. Yeah, so that isn't that old saying, like you point one finger but three are pointing back at you, that thing? I don't know if you guys grew up with that saying, but it was a saying where I'm from. You point one finger at you, there's three pointing back at you. So like, anyway. Dear Mr. President, it's evident that everyone's a resident of fear when they support these ideas that keep us separate, when they make us believe that everybody is coming to terrorize you in the streets. They say proudly through gritted teeth, it's my right to hate, that's freedom of speech. Very topical for 4 years ago. Actually, very topical today too. But I mean, 4 years ago, dear Mr. President, in America, 4 years ago, Trump was president. And Trump did fuck all for all the bigotry and hate that was running rampant through his country, right? He kind of, yeah, he's complicit in all of that shit. Anyway, but this line of like, they say proudly through gritted teeth, it's my right to hate, that's freedom of speech. Technically, yes, you have the freedom to hate. Why would you choose to? That's the problem, which these dumbasses don't see. But when did freedom become a reason to hate? A way to justify a racial slur or insult we make? Like, yeah, why do you choose? Freedom means you have a choice. If you're choosing to hate, if you're choosing to be a bigot or a homophobe or a whatever phobe, racist, whatever, that's a choice you're making. Nobody's forcing you to be racist. Nobody's forcing you to be bigoted. It's a choice you make. So why would you choose that? Unless something's wrong, right? Anyway, there's an irony in freedom, because us in the West, we have pillaged and plundered and murdered like savages, colonized all of the rest. It's called hypocrisy. Very true. Very true. Europe and the UK and America, all, yeah, colonizers. The lot of them. Not today, but their ancestors. Everybody's descended from either colonizers or settlers or immigrants, which is what he says later on in the song. Preach a certain value that you'd never keep yourselves. If your country was in flames, you'd emigrate yourselves in a second. Still, you spit your venom. Right, that's the thing. See, if you fight so much to defend your land, but if your land was on fire, you'd leave, which is what happened. We talk about the problems that happened in Syria, the problems that are happening today in the Middle East. Like, people want to leave their country because their country's in danger, their country's on fire. A lot of them stay and fight, which is admirable, but innocent people who've never seen a day of war in their lives would like to leave, but they're rejected from other countries that are populated by the descendants of immigrants. The irony! Demonizing immigrants when you're really an immigrant. Because all of us are immigrants or descended from immigrants. The irony is imminent. I'll shed the light on immigrants. Literally. One thing I'd like to mention here. The fact that he says... what happened to my voice? The fact that he says immigrants 5 times... In songwriting, it's kind of a faux pas, because rhyming one word with the same word twice is sort of a faux pas. Like, you don't necessarily do that, but he's already breaking so many rules. He's in his own genre. He's making his rules as he goes, right? So he says demonizing immigrants when you're really an immigrant, because all of us are immigrants or descended from immigrants. The irony is imminent. I'll shut the light on immigrants. Like, he says it 5 times. If it doesn't get into your head after that, look in the mirror. Something's wrong. Anyway, but then he goes on to say America was colonized by Britain. Britain was colonized by Rome, and also by the Saxons, who were German, by the way, who are known for a lot of things, right? One thing in particular, people throw shade upon Germans because of history, Spain, and yet we make the same mistakes all again, demonize a whole people, Jewish or Muslim, which, again, this song is 4 years old, very topical about what's happening today, right? I won't get into that, but we know, everybody knows, the same old situation plays on repeat, the same old TV shows repeat. Yeah, we worship the bleak, our opinions aren't our own, and we follow like sheep. There's no left, there's no right, in the middle we sleep. And then the chorus repeats, post-chorus repeats. Honestly, it's a story to the wise. It literally is. It's a warning against living a life full of capitalist and corporate and political greed. Woof. All right, moving on. Money Game Part 2, which is the rule book on how to achieve such things. Strange times we're living in, panic and hysteria, poor man. Now, this song came out in 2020, April 16, 2020. Although, I don't know if he wrote it, because this is like, it came out 1 month after the pandemic hit. But did he write it in that time, or did he write it before and then release it? Anyway, because it's topical either way, that's the thing. It's topical either way you look at it. This is what I call a timeless song. You can listen to this 10 years from now, we'll still be having the same problems, because will we ever learn? Anyway, poor man, learn the rich man don't care for you. Narcissist mindset spread like malaria. Sit back and watch the show America. Britain split through fickle shit, a government of hypocrites. These counterfeit politicians sit in parliament, not adequate. So this is after Brexit, right? Brexit happened a while ago, which is what he's referencing there. Needlessly bleeding resources all dry, turn a blind eye if it means a pay rise. Oh, what a shame it would be, I would die if number 10 Downing Street burned in a fire. For those unaware, because whoever's watching this may not be from Britain, number 10 Downing Street is where the Prime Minister lives. So it's quite a statement to make. Like, you talk about freedom of speech. Like, he's saying, oh, what a shame it would be if the house where the Prime Minister lives burned in a fire. You can't do that in a lot of countries. Like, you'd face a lot of, persecution, honestly, if you even talk about the house where your leader lives. Where your leader lives burning in a fire. Like, it doesn't happen. So it's quite a statement to make in a song. That's true freedom of speech right there. Anyway, only joking, only messing, don't be stressing. I'm a peaceful adolescent, which this hit me when he said it in the song. How old is Ren? Because he's like, I'm a peaceful adolescent, there's no need to be unpleasant. He may be singing from the point of view of, teenagers who take up a position of protest, right? A lot of teenagers do it. High school students, college students, they tend to be like the people nowadays that are protesting a lot, which is good, yes, which is what he's kind of touching on, I guess. Write my thesis in a rhyme scheme to analyze the brain while my fingers on the trigger of a money game. Callback. Same chorus. Money is a game and the ladder we climb turns a Satan to a sinner with his finger on the crime. I love that in the video when he says money is a game and the ladder we climb, there's a shot of, oh god, what's the show? Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Because it's literally a tiered fucking structure of money that you are climbing by answering questions. You are playing the game of money. I like that. That's storytelling right there. Turns a saint to a sinner with his finger in crime. And I think he had a shot of Donald Trump when that happened. So, or Hitler. What's the difference? Anyway, I'll break it down for you motherfuckers. Line by line, this is business economics in a nursery rhyme. She sells seashells on the seashore, which is the reference we all get. But the value of these shells will fall due to the laws of supply. And then, yeah, like I said, he goes into a whole spiel about how to step by step create a supply and demand for seashells and how to sell them on the seashore. It is genius. This man has done his studies. He's a studious boy. Because I remember reading economics, learning about supply and demand, and falling asleep in the classroom. But yeah, I'm not gonna read the whole thing because we get it. It's a step-by-step process. And then the chorus again is repeated of driving home the point that, hey, we're all part of this money game. So yeah, anyway, let's go to Money Game Part 3, which is a story that can stand by itself, but in the grand scheme of things, it's a perfect example of the previous two songs. Like, it's actually an example. Anyway, piano and yodeling intro. I don't know if what he did at the start was yodeling. Is it considered yodeling? I'm not a yodeler. I don't know. Anyone from Scandinavia can tell me. I don't know if that was culturally accurate. Swiss. Not Scandinavia per se, but Swiss. Do people in Scandinavia yodel? I don't know. I'm getting off track. Anyway, let me tell you a story about a boy named Jimmy, which took... I mean, come on, you hear the name Jimmy coming from the tale of Jenny and Screech. His name was James. Jimmy is a common nickname for James, so you understand why I got... Anyway, 1 year old and his first words were mine, mine, gimme. 2, he was walking. 3, walking quickly. 4, he was running around the pavements of a city. An innocent child, right? But kind of a selfish prick because he's like, mine, mine, gimme. So, a bit of a selfish kid. Anyway. And then his daddy told him, listen here, son, you gotta learn to be a man. He works for what he wants. Fairly simple. Good advice for a father to give his son. You know, if you want to be a man works for what he wants. Right? Anybody works for what they want, but from a father to a son, you get it. 6 years old and he's reading, writing, top of the bunch, great, studious boy. When he's 7, his progression made him student number 1. 8 years old, he's praised for unusual grades. His parents pray for private school to nurture the flame. So, he's a very, very studious boy. He's going to private school, which means smart, and they have money. His daddy tells him, son, money is the means to all ends. Now, here's where the mistake happens. His father is buying into the concept of the money game, right? And he's passing that on. Generational greed, basically. He's passing it on to his son. Solving complex mathematical equations at 15 or 150 IQ, still elevating. He develops... 150 is pretty good, right? Like, that's almost Einstein level brain. Anyway, he develops complex software code that detects weakness in cybersecurity protocols. Who does that? Just who? Anyway, 17, he sells his vision, keeping his share. Not yet an adult, but he's practically a millionaire. So, he's a minor and he's a millionaire, which logistically and financially, the money would go straight to the parents. Like, he wouldn't keep any of that until he turns 18. But anyway, 18, his dad tells him, now you're a man, the world don't give a damn about you, so take all that you can. So the advice becomes toxic at this point because his father stopped looking at him as a child and started looking at him as a money machine, basically. You need to pump your whole life into making more money by any means necessary. He turns a profit, stocks and shares, invests in product, double down, deposit, his income rockets, which is a good way to do it. He learns that truth is just an obstacle to wealth. Oh, there's where the toxicity ramps up, right? The truth is an obstacle to wealth. So in Money Game 2, he's like, in order to do something, your morals have to be pushed down. I'm paraphrasing, but he's like, you need to have no morals if you want to become part of the elite. So Jimmy at this point is learning that truth. If you manipulate the data, then a lie will sell itself. Come on, man. A life of luxury, crystal and cocaine. He makes the Forbes list. They're applauding his name. And his daddy, I mean, crystal here is crystal meth, I'm assuming, not crystal like champagne or something, right? Luxury, crystal and cocaine. So like fame and fortune come with drug addictions, apparently. Right? He makes the Forbes list, they're applauding his name, and his daddy tells him, listen here, son, while you are sitting in that palace, that don't mean that you won. So his dad is literally going from like, hey, work hard because a man works for what he wants. Then when he achieves what he wants, he's like, money is the means to all ends. Then he's like, listen here, the world don't give a damn about you, so take all that you can. Okay? And then he's like, now that he's achieved that, he's taken all he can. He's like, just because you're sitting there doesn't mean that you won. Do more, do better, do bigger. You know, 26, a business shift. He switches business to arms. He's 27, dealing nuclear and shells in Iran. Inside the Senate, money bought him a seat. a role of counsel in the president's suite. Like, he went from writing software code to selling arms and nuclear stuff to Iran. For, I guess, pumping money into the war machine there, because that's a thing, right? He's 29, a role of counsel in the president's suite, and then again, his father's telling him, you haven't won shit. You are advising the president. You're not the president. You are not the king. You're advisor to the king. That doesn't mean shit. Like, oh god, big maneuver for his daddy's approval, moving imports over borders from the Xbox out of Cuba, moving grams, growing kilos to tons. He's 33, filling warehouses with powder and guns. He gets a call, I'm sorry son, it's your father, had a heart attack, I'm sorry, he's gone. Just like that. Just like that. His entire life, his father's been telling him what to do, how to do it, and he's been chasing for his father's approval, and then his dad's gone, out of the picture. And then his entire mission statement devolves into chaos. Getting pissed up, abusing his product, eyes glazed, disposition demonic, with a prostitute, a moment of passion, heating up a silver spoon and then chasing a dragon. Heating up, I love that. Heating up a silver spoon, heating a spoon, that's how you take meth, right? You melt it in a spoon. I'm not trying to, this is not an instructional video. I'm just saying, from watching the show Breaking Bad, that's what people do, right? Drug addicts, they heat up a spoon, but he's heating up a silver spoon. So it's a level above. And then chasing the dragon, which is what you do when you get high. You chase the high, you chase the dragon. Getting reckless and hungry for power, daddy's words still driving him to kill and devour. He makes a move against the cartel and the strategy's flawed. They retaliate and leave him in a hospital ward. So he's paralyzed at this point. Doctor says, I don't think you'll be walking again. And now, only now we're getting to verse 2. Jesus Christ. Let me tell you a story about a boy named Jimmy. He was 40, cursed the words, mine, mine, gimme. So now he's cursing his greed, because this is what it took for him to realize that, oh, I've been living a life of greed. He wasn't walking, not walking quickly, never running around the pavements of his city inside a palace with a mountain of gold, but those riches turn to rubble when perspective evolves. Weighing heavy on his conscience is the value of gold, Lamborghini for a life, trading money for souls. Jimmy followed the code inside the land of the free. Put your hand inside the cookie jar, take more than you need. And his example is exaggerated versions of me. Yes, this is an exaggerated version of everyone who's ever chased the dragon, lived a life of greed, chased that fame and fortune stuff, you know. And the way we live is parasitic, fuck the money and fame, cut the music. And then he goes into like a spoken word poetry, like slam poetry basically. Because this isn't entertainment, this is real life. The way we live is lunacy, community, it declines. We're hyper-polarized, we're always fighting and we divide. Truth is less important than the money that we design. Money's an invention, politics for our invention. They all come from people's ideas. Did I mention borders and invention? Yes, borders are an invention that people drew on maps. And they just decided, hey, this is where this state or this country ends. Why? Because we want what's in this land. We don't want what's in this land. You can have that land. So this is my border. It's all an invention. It's a fucking construct. Anyway, an invention, law and order, fuel the tension. That leads to people killing each other. My solution? And this is where he starts loading the gun. Everything is subject to change. We could build utopias. Individuals were taught to use their brains. True. But if we teach kids in school to always be sheep and put themselves before the herd, if there's money, more money for me, then there's no future I see where the humans survive or parasites inside a petri dish with cannibal minds. Yeah, I touched upon this. That beautiful symmetry cinema here, where he's at the age of 45 with a 45 to his head. Like, oh. Anyway. And then he ends the song by saying it's such a damn shame. Which is how, I mean, this tragic tale ends that way, as did the tale of Jenny, Screech and Violet, because he ends those songs with it's such a damn shame. Cinema. It's cinema. Anyway, holy shit, dude. What a great trilogy of... I mean, this guy should just write movies or plays or... I mean, he kind of does, actually, this, if you think about it. These are short films in and of themselves, which they should be viewed as short films. Because listening to any one of these songs by themselves is great. You get the message. But then when you pile them on, and you listen to Money Game 1, 2, and 3, you get the bigger picture of what he's saying, what the story he's telling, which is so good, so amazing. Anyway, that's going to do it for me. This was a lot of fun. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, drop a like if you enjoyed this reaction. Subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know any references or things that you caught that I didn't, that I missed, maybe Easter eggs that he may have dropped. I don't know. But yeah, let me know, and let me know what to react to next. I know like the song Sick Boy, and someone mentioned something else, but Sick Boy is one that was a common comment in the comments, suggestion in the comments, I should say. So that might be the next reaction. So but let me know anything else you'd like to see me react to, REN involved or other similar to REN, or anything else that you'd like to see me to react to. Leave a comment down below. But thank you so much for watching, everybody, and I will see you guys in the new year. Happy New Year. Have a great weekend. Don't chase the dragon. Okay, Happy New Year. See you all later. Bye bye.